I remember when I was a teenager, probably 15 or so, when I was amongst my guy friends, the word slut would be thrown around like it meant nothing. It was just a descriptor of a girl who was maybe a little too excited about boys, or God forbid was excited about girls. And I always hated the word and the ignorance it stood for, because given the opportunity, I would have f***ed a loaf of bread. And I just imagined if that's what my raging hormones are doing to me, and I expect no judgment, why is it so unfounded to think of teenage girls' hormones the same way? Again, I expected no judgment, so why would we pass judgment onto someone who's going through essentially the same thing? Now, I'd like to clarify that this subject is still veiled in ignorance for me, but that's the point. I only know what I experienced, and when I assume teenage girls experience the same thing, the whole situation gets bathed in unfairness and double standards. Now, this video isn't about hormones or fucking bread or even the highly sexualized culture I was a teenager in. It's about judgment and double standards and ignorance. It's about dehumanizing those you wish would love you. It's about hating people who only wish to love who they love. Disgust for those who only want to feel comfortable in their bodies. And it's about misunderstanding those who only wish to understand themselves. Objectification comes in many forms, some subtle, easy enough for you to miss as the perpetrator. Others are just kind of common sense. Like, of course this would be dehumanizing, but many people do it anyway with no remorse and no care for how it makes the other person feel. Like, what do you expect? That if you ask enough people enough times you might get lucky, even if you are leaving behind a trail of justifiably pissed off people? This is the kind of thing that makes me mad to no end, because it's so simple. It's just simple empathy. Maybe it's because I'm furious with 15-year-old me for being too riddled with hormones to make that simple, empathetic evaluation. Like, imagine this. Someone asks to see your private parts, and there is absolutely no satisfaction you could ever take from this interaction. It's just selfishness. It's just a person and an object that person can use. How f***ed up is that? But this video won't get to every single guy on the planet. And even if it did, it wouldn't endow even a fraction of them with the empathy needed to be a decent f***ing person. So let's move on. Can you tell me why you love who you love? We all have biological indicators of our love. Whether we like it or not, these are our body's ways of getting ready. And they will only happen when you find yourself attracted to the person you're with. A straight man would find it difficult to get ready when with another man. Same goes for any other pairing that clashes with that person's sexual preference. So then why, I implore you, do homophobic people exist? They are asking queer people to go against their preferences the same way they never would. Not to mention, far too many people believe being gay is a choice. It's disgusting how ignorant and judgmental people can be when logic seems to stare them in their face on every step of their bigoted crusade. Not to mention that there is nothing wrong with one's pursuit of happiness. That's what America's all about, right? And like it or not, we affect one another. One person's actions can have effects, however adverse, on another person. From driving down the road, to grabbing something off the shelf, to just littering. However, there are also things that can have positive effects on others. And one of those, no matter how you slice it, is diversity and a widespread ability to fairly pursue happiness. Adam and Steve building a family down the street does nothing but increase the amount of happiness in your vicinity. And if you have a problem with that, then sorry, maybe you don't deserve to be happy. For a long time, gay and otherwise queer people were the primary subject of controversy in society, or at least where it came to what would become the LGBTQ+ community. And now, thankfully, queer people have started to become more accepted in the mainstream. However, trans people have been getting targeted more and more. And I suppose you could chalk up a bit of the discourse to ignorance. so I'm going to go ahead and educate you, okay? When we are born, we are almost always assigned a clear and distinct sex. Sex as in our biological, physical sex. What reproductive organs we have. This is distinctly different from gender, which is a social construct. Your gender is how you identify and how you choose to present yourself and how you wish people to see you. For cisgendered people, your sex and gender align. For transgender people, they do not. This could be someone who is born male identifying as female or vice versa. The medical diagnosis associated with being transgender is gender dysphoria. This does technically make being trans a mental illness, but not in the same way that depression or other mental illnesses work. Because for depression or schizophrenia or many other conditions, the desired outcome is to fight the illness. But for trans people, to cure being trans is to embrace being trans, to transition in whatever way they see fit. This may go against your initial inclination that trans people should embrace who they are and just keep on identifying with the sex they were assigned at birth. But let me ask you this. When you look back at old pictures of you, maybe just from a few years ago or even when you were a kid, do you feel connected with that person? Do you completely relate to them? Do you feel like they are you? Do you want to continue being that person you were however long ago? No. You've changed over time, and that's a good thing. You're a better person now. Or at least I hope you are. This is not that different from what trans people experience. It's just that their gender identity is what has changed, or to be more accurate, is now being fully embraced. Now, this isn't entirely how it works, and I'm likely dangerously oversimplifying it. But my point is, empathy and trying to understand what someone's going through is all we need for everyone to fit into society. There is an analog for almost anything that makes someone different from you, and if you just take a moment to try and apply that analog to your own life, then you might not find yourself so angry and confused. It's just unfortunate how empathy doesn't seem to be as strong of a factor in people's perceptions of others as it should be. This isn't to say that there aren't good people out there. There are. And I love hearing every wholesome story, no matter how much the doom and gloom drowns it out. Society is changing, and it's sad that there are a lot of people that refuse to change with it. As humans, we're understanding ourselves more. We're figuring out better ways to share the planet with each other. Be our genuine selves, no matter how different this is from what other people expect from us. Our brains are infinitely complex, likely the most complex things in the universe. So why is it such a stretch for the society we build and share with one another to have those same complexities?